So I wanted to take a few seconds since we were starting to talk about your email marketing and we've been having some challenges with getting ExactTarget engaged. I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a heads up on what your website might possibly look like and how it might function. So the first thing that I wanted to show you, this is a website that Chris has actually been helping work with us on, and this is actually a website for some political activities that I'm involved in. So, but I wanted to show you because we're using basically the same system. This is Joomla, so as you can see, it's very extensible in terms of editing, his tweets and latest news, those types of things. And then we have a login screen, so we're going to actually log in here, and I'll show you the front end, and then I'll show you the back end. And if you notice here, we've got this little ticker slideshow, which is based upon the content within the SharePoint, or excuse me, in the Joomla site, and it'll actually auto-rotate through different activities and things. So it's actually pretty cool. But anyway, so what we'll do is we'll log in here. So you just get a login link. So it would be something similar that your end user population would use. And then I actually have, so this is my login. I hit login. Now if you notice the toolbar here, there's only 3 links. Now as you see, there's more. So what we've done is we've created this menu bar so that it actually will show you based upon your login. So since I'm part of the executive committee group, I have actually options for these. Now if somebody logs in as a normal user, they wouldn't necessarily have these unless they were given a specific access to that in relation to the menu. Now there's a couple features on here, so updating your account, logging out, create an account. So these are here just by default because they're on the other menu. You can actually modify that so that they wouldn't show up. And then have add an article, add an event, create a newsletter, and add an article, add an event. Those are to add things to the calendar, add an article. But I want to focus on the newsletter piece because that's what we're focused on right now since we were coming up on a deadline with ExactTarget. So you and Beth, or Brian and Beth, would both be able to have options like this. So you would be able to click on newsletter. Now what Chris has done is this is all integrated. And so what you see here is we have mailing lists. We have a couple different mailing lists here. This one is the default one. This is the one that almost everybody is a part of. And then you have the subject line, and then you have the ability to do attachments, sender information, and so on. But this is really, I mean, if you don't touch anything here, you put in a subject line, and then you go down here, and as you can see, you have a WYSIWYG editor. And this is actually a template that Chris pulled together for us. You can see this is expandable here, so you can actually stretch this out a little bit. This is a WYSIWYG editor. WYSIWYG means what you see is what you get. WYSIWYG is an acronym. And what this allows you to do is go in here and probably do it very similar to what you're doing with ExactTarget today. We would take the template that you're using, we would apply it in here, and then you would have basically the template laid out exactly the way you would want to have it laid out. As you can see, there's these are actually wildcards, or these are modules. So when these actually go into the preview, you'll actually see the date. Now this is a module, and this is a module, and these are calendar modules. These are predefined entries. So anything that is defined, let's say if you've got events on your calendar that are coming up, they'll show up in the newsletter automatically. The other thing that you can do here is add articles in that you want, that have already been written, that you want to include. And I'd mentioned this to Brian the other day. So let me show you that real quick. So what we'll just kind of do is we'll kind of put in here test newsletter. We're actually going to change this so that the font stays the same. So test newsletter, and then you go in here and you go, this is a test newsletter for pen. All right. Now what you can do here is you actually go up into this section up top and you hit tags. Now tags let you add content from the site. So right now we have content which is in something called K2, which is not relevant right now. But you also have subscription, subscriber, you have other information that you can put in here, which is going to more personalize it. So you can say, welcome person's first name, and it'll be dynamic for each email that goes out. So if you're sending it to Beth, it'll say, "Hey Beth." If it's sending it to Eric, it'll say, "Hey Eric." But the other cool thing of this, and I think Brian was interested in this the most, is that you have this option here for adding articles that you've already written. So if you have multiple categories, you could go into categories, you can add a category in, or if you just want to add specific articles that have been written, you can just go in here and you click on the article, just like that. You can choose if you just want the title, an intro with the title, text, or the full text of it. And so you have some functionality there. You can do a search. As you can see, it's appending it all in here. So what you do now is you say insert tag. And if you look down here, you can see it's just a reference to those articles that you linked on. Now when we go up here and we show preview, I'll be able to show you what this is actually going to look like to the end user. And so you can even go in here and you can add, other content, links, anything else, pictures. So you could go in here and you could go into pictures, and if you have pictures on your server that you've already uploaded, you can choose them here. Otherwise, you can go into upload and you can upload them right to the server. So we'll just kind of insert this one here, and you actually can resize it right on the fly, which is really, really nice. You could go in and edit it again. So by clicking on it, you can say alignment, and we're going to do right. Actually, we'll do middle, do update. All right. So now you've got your newsletter all prepped up, and then you can cut and paste. There is cut and paste options up here, so you can do Control-C, Control-V, or use the toolbar up here, cut, paste, paste, as plain text or formatted text, depending on what you want to do and how you want to do it. And now what we do is we go into preview, and this is actually what it'll look like. So it actually takes a portion of the article, puts in the image that's associated with it, and then it puts that information in there. All right. And the nice thing about this is if people have chosen to get it in text and not HTML, this is what they would get. So it actually automatically handles the conversion from an HTML doc, which would be this, to a text doc. So they would just get it as text email. So a little formatting issue here, but that's Chris is doing this for us for free, so I'm not going to give them too much on that. So now you have a couple options. You can either you can send yourself a test email, make sure it looks the way you want to. You have general updates. So this is actually telling you how many you're reaching, and then you can either schedule it, which means you can schedule it to send at a specific time, or you can just hit send. And what that'll do is it'll kick off a process that, depending on your email server, will send it in chunks. So instead of trying to overwhelm the email server, which some email servers have issues with, it'll send it in chunks. So it'll send like 50, wait 2 minutes, 50 more, wait 2 minutes, and that's all automated. And so that's really, really nice to have. And again, down here you see there's these calendar items that are listed. You can forward this email to a friend, show a full calendar. So you can really customize that all how you would want to have it look. So ignore the fact that this is a Republican website, depending on your political preferences, but I at least wanted to show you this. The other thing is that all of these are listed. So once you submit them, you'll see that all of these are available to look at again, and most emails they say, well, can you not read it in your email? Click this link. Well, that link would take them to the website. The other nice thing about this is that when you go into the back end, so this is all in the front end. So this is doing nothing but logging in and having this new these email, or excuse me, or link options. So now when you log into the back end, all right. right, so this is the administration piece, and this is something that I would be, as we've discussed, I'll probably be doing for you, but this is a really nice part of it. So this is a lot of stuff that we'll talk about later, but here is the AcyMailing piece, and what I want to show you here is pretty cool, because what this is going to show you is some of those statistics that that you guys were talking about. So, so it'll tell you how many emails were opened, how many clicked on a link, how many have unsubscribed, how many forwarded or sent, how many were sent in HTML, how many bounced, so you can find out which ones got kicked back for whatever reason, and then so I'm not sure what level of statistics you guys were looking for, but it also has the ability to have charts. So you can actually go through here and say, okay, from this period of time to this period of time, I want to see a chart on the statistics. All right, so this is pretty generic because we haven't sent a whole ton, but this is the month, and then you can do day, and then you can do year, and I'm sure we could get more granular with this. So yeah, didn't have any during that time. So we have a column chart, and then you can switch it to a line chart. And if we extend this out, let's say we go back, whoops, let's go back to August 1st. Let's see what this does. All right, so the charting here is a little bit weird, at least for us. That might just be because Chris doesn't have it configured right, and/or we just, I'm not using it right. So, but anyways, so we're going to go back to global statistics, but it really gives you a lot of that information. So based upon how many articles you have here, you can really see how many of these emails are being opened, and what your really hit rate is on it if people are using them. So just wanted to show you that. Hopefully this is helpful to give you a little bit of an insight into how the mailing works, and a little bit of insight into Joomla. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Well, thank you very much.